You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, the cost of going to college is slowing down. Our very own Lonnie Walton shares what this means for future students.
Also, tensions rise in one Pittsburgh neighborhood after an in-home daycare requests a permit.
And they got a bit of a cold start out there. A few clouds to start the day. It's going to be a little warmer later. We'll go over that forecast, get you out the door. Coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's just after 7 a.m. on this Wednesday, January the 15th, 2025. Hopefully your year's off to a good start. I've already seen the Facebook memes of people saying, boy, it's been a rough year. And like, the year just started.
Yeah, it's been rough for some people.
For some folks it has been. Others, hopefully, it's doing better. If it has been rough for you, hopefully it will improve. And college, man, you're not that far removed from college.
No,
I mean, it's a
not
few
that far.
years, but I'm significantly further removed. And I remember tuition and costs and the loans and everything like that.
It can be a lot. The cost of tuition and fees for college is no longer climbing as quickly as it once did. In fact, according to collegetuitioncompare.com, in Missouri, the cost has increased by only 1.45% over the last 5 years.
KOAM's Lonnie Walton looks at what that means to students in Southwest Missouri.
It's multi-size college. I like to have a better connection with the professor.
Pedro Bolatti is a sophomore at Crowder College in Neosho studying business. He says one of the main reasons for attending this college was money.
International student, money is a problem for me. So I found Crowder College is affordable.
Crowder College Director of Public Information Cindy Brown says the university takes pride in keeping tuition low.
Our board and our administration are very aware that we don't want to pass a lot of tuition and fee increases on to students.
Not only are leaders saying it's important to keep tuition affordable for all, but they say this is an experience that they once had to encounter. Meet Linda Ice, a chief financial officer at Missouri Southern. She says grants have been beneficial for her throughout her college journey.
I was one of those students that qualified for the Pell Grant funding, and it really helped get me through Missouri Southern.
And Pedro is taking the same route at Crowder College. He says he has several scholarships.
Esports, foundation, theater, and student ambassador.
Although both colleges increase, they are still below the national average, according to College Tuition Compare. Leaders say they do all they can to make sure students get the most for their buck.
The more they can save and not have to pay when they get out, the more they can afford to live.
So I'm proud of me because I got a lot, and now I have free tuition. I don't pay for college.
I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
And although costs for Missouri public colleges and universities jumped more than 4% from last year, the numbers are still below the national average. That's according to College Tuition Compare.
That's tough these days. I mean, there's a lot of grants and loans and things out there, but the problem is you just have to pay that back. You see so many times where students are paying back their college loans until the day they retire. Right. So it does make it difficult, but college still a very important next step to get on.
Absolutely.
Get on in the
Certainly
world.
so.
And another important step is the one that you'll take outside this morning to get to work or to school, and hopefully you've got a coat on because it is a bit on the cold side. Taking a look from our camera downtown Joplin on the Cornell complex. Got some clouds out there. These will be clearing out as the morning goes on. And we got a little bit of a dusting of snow in Joplin, part of that little band that came through yesterday evening. It looked very pretty. Didn't do much, but brought a little bit of fresh snowfall to grassy areas and things like that. MoDOT camera, 20th and range line. Now it's capturing the colors of that sunrise quite beautifully. It looks wonderful out there. Of course, looking back to the east, we are missing cars. It's almost as if they're invisible. Maybe some folks are like, it is too cold to go outside today. I think I'm just going to call in, and maybe that's what they've done. Couldn't blame you at this point. I'm ready for spring. We've had a snow. It's been cold. I'm ready for spring. I'm not talking summer. I'm not talking 90-degree weather. I'm talking 60s, 70s, some sunshine, smell of rain, all that good stuff. That's a story for another day. KDOT camera, though, this also gives you an idea of how narrow that snow band was, because as you can see, there is no fresh snow, not even a smidgen of fresh snow on either side of 69 just south of Pittsburgh. No snow in our forecast for today. In fact, none for at least the next several days. We're going to be upper 20s, low 30s by noon for some, mid 30s, low 40s in our southern counties. Eventually, most of us should reach the low low 40s today, but some may only make the upper 30s for those highs. Otherwise, we're going to be sunny, and it's going to be pretty decent. Warmer than where we are right now. 19 in Joplin, 16 in Pittsburgh. Colder air, of course, still up to the north, where we've got low, mid, upper teens. And the further south you get, we start getting into the mid and upper 20s. Again, our highs today looking to go upper 30s, low 40s, clear skies, and a west breeze around 5 to 10 miles an hour. This warming trend will continue over the next couple of days. Then it's going to get really cold again. Details on all that here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks. Well, Freeman Health System announces its new leader. The Freeman Board of Directors has chosen Matthew Fry as their new president and CEO. Fry has previous healthcare administrative experience in California and Illinois. Fry takes the position vacated by the impending retirement of CEO Paula Baker. The health system had originally tabbed Tom Keller for the job, but he backed out. Fry's first day is slated to be for April 1st. Voters in Cleora, Oklahoma Public School District overwhelmingly approve a $6 million bond issue. The district superintendent said enrollment has grown over the years and the district was running out of space. The bond will fund a nearly 10,000 square foot expansion and cover renovations of the cafeteria and gymnasium. Although the bond passed last night, there will not be a tax increase. And Pittsburgh drivers should be aware of new four-way stops at a couple of intersections. They're at the intersections of 5th and Pine and 6th and Pine. Those had previously been two-way stops, but the Traffic Advisory Board recommended the changes for safety. A Pittsburgh neighborhood becomes the center of a controversy involving a proposed in-home daycare. The conditional use permit for Play to Learn childcare was the top agenda item at last night's City Commission meeting. KOAM's Samantha Walker breaks down why the potential permit created such a buzz.
As a mother of three and an experienced occupational therapist, Sheena Cosman says she's ready to begin her new career as an in-home daycare provider.
By then, I had already had everything else done. I did my licensing surveyor. She came and approved. I had the state marshal come in, did the food program, and that was the last step.
In-home daycares are allowed in residential areas in Pittsburgh, requiring a conditional use permit that's recommended by the Planning and Zoning Commission and approved by the City Commission. But when the conditional use permit was discussed at a Planning and Zoning meeting in December, several neighbors came to voice their disapproval and concerns.
This is not the place to do it.
I'm concerned about the increase in traffic. Children that are screaming and yelling. I know there was a dog that got loose at one time.
Cosman is licensed to have 10 kids in her daycare, 3 of whom will be her own. She says traffic shouldn't be a concern because she'd only have a handful of parents coming each day, and they'd not come at the same time. Another concern neighbors cited was involving a daycare when the Cosmans owned a dog that appeared to be pit bull-like, an animal barred from the city of Pittsburgh. The family says they've removed the dog from the city and are awaiting DNA results. They say if it is a pit bull, it will remain out of the home.
If there wasn't the city ordinance, that has no effect on daycares and state licensing and anything.
Pit bulls are actually allowed in daycares. Like, it's not.
So they're completely separate issues.
Neighbors against the permit also told the Planning and Zoning Commission they wanted the area to remain purely residential.
Every school here in town is in a residential zone. That's probably the biggest point to make. As far as a home-based business, this is just one that, by our standards, requires a conditional use so that you can set conditions if you choose to approve it.
The Planning and Zoning Commission voted 4-2 to recommend the approval of the conditional use permit, sending it to the City Commission for a vote. For the Cosmans, they say it's been frustrating to see so much backlash when they see such a clear need for more childcare options.
And even several of the petitioners and even people that voted no against it went on and on and on about what a big need this is and this would be great for our community, but we just don't want it right here.
Reporting in Pittsburgh, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
During last night's commission meeting, representatives from the Kansas Department of Health and Environment, Thrive Kansas, and Child Care Aware of Kansas all spoke in support of approving the daycare. And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next, we'll see what tools you'll need the next time your sheep or goat gives birth. And later, a community comes together to help a man replace his stolen bike. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Welcome back. Dave Van Rolling from the Kansas State Research and Extension Office is with us this morning. She's here to share what you need to know when your sheep or goat gives birth next. So good morning to you.
Good morning.
We've got a lot of tools here. Talk to me about these guys.
Yeah, so I have a couple basic supplies here that you'll want to have on hand when your goats and sheep are getting close to giving birth. Of course, you can have a lot more comprehensive supply list than this, but this is a few of the basics to start out with. So the first thing you're going to want to have is this is iodine spray.
Okay.
And you're going to spray the umbilical cord with this, or you can pour some into a smaller container and dip the umbilical cord in it. And this helps prevent bacteria from traveling up that umbilical cord and causing an infection later on. So the next thing I like to have on hand is a towel. It can be any size, and this is in case you need to assist the mom with cleaning off those kids or lambs. I like to give the mom the opportunity to clean them off because it gives them a chance to really form that bond. But sometimes when there's multiples, they need a little bit of help. So I make sure that face is cleaned off first to make sure they can breathe without any problems, and then I let mom do the rest if she's able to. Related to that, I also like to have on hand a bulb syringe, and this is for cleaning out any birthing fluid they may have inhaled to make sure their airways are clear and it's easy for them to breathe. I also keep gloves on hand, and these are for if I have to go in and assist by pulling a kid or lamb. Maybe they're positioned incorrectly, or they're a little too big for mom to do it by herself. And then I also have a bottle here and also a esophageal feeding tube and syringe. And these are for if you have a weak kid or lamb, or one that maybe unfortunately isn't accepted by the mom. This is to make sure they get fed. So sometimes if they're really weak, they need to be tube fed. Otherwise, the bottle works great. And there's a variety of different styles of bottles and nipples that you could use. This is just one example. And then related to that, I also keep colostrum replacer on hand because it's really important for those kids to get colostrum within the first 12 hours after being born to get those maternal antibodies. That's vital for their survival. So I always want to have that on hand as well. And then one supply that I always like to have easy to grab, whether they're kidding or not, is a thermometer. And that is just to check their temperature. So that could be if you find a kid or lamb that's really cold, double checking their temperature to see if they need to be warmed up before they're fed. Or if you have one that isn't acting quite right, just to double check their temperature. The normal range is 101 to 103. So if it's anything above or below that, that indicates that they're not feeling well, and then you can figure out how to treat them from there.
Wonderful. Lots of useful tools, lots of useful information. Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, stick around. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:18 now on this Wednesday morning, and we're starting with the future track as we head into the afternoon. It's going to be a little chilly today again, but we're going to see a few more of us going into the 40s today, which will be a nice improvement, and it will continue to improve before Mother Nature comes in and just kicks those warm temperatures right on out of here, about like that. Today, though, by noon, we're talking some upper 20s, low 30s, mid 30s, low 40s. Of course, a little warmer to the south, a little colder up to the north. Otherwise, sunny skies. We'll have a few clouds through the morning, and then those will clear out, and we'll have clear skies through the day, into the evening. A few clouds will be possible overnight tonight. Now, here's something to take note of, and this is where the slightly nicer temperatures start. Now, it's still cold tomorrow morning, but we're mostly into the teens and 20s now. We're talking upper 20s, low 30s as we start our Thursday. It's going to be a bit warmer as we head into Thursday afternoon as well. By noon tomorrow, there's no 20s, there's no 30s on this map. We're into the 40s, low to mid 40s for most of us. Our southern counties, mid upper 40s, even some low 50s here and there as the warming trend continues. So that means by the evening, still not doing too bad, which also means we'll be slightly milder as we head into Friday. Now by Friday, We're starting the day in the 30s, low, mid, and upper, and then we have that south wind's going to start picking up for us. And it's going to bring in warmer air. It's going to bring in some moisture. It's going to bring in some clouds as we head through the morning and into the afternoon. South wind's really gusting out there, so something we'll want to keep an eye on just because it's going to be very breezy. But our temperatures, look at noon on Friday. Yates Center is the coolest spot at 46. The rest of us into the 50s out there. And as we head into the afternoon Friday, clouds thicken up. Could get a stray shower or two into the afternoon, mainly in the southeastern portion of our area. Outside of that, it's going to be pretty decent. If you have anything to get done, just keep in mind it's going to be breezy, but you'll be able to get it done. Now, by Friday evening, here comes a cold front. Back behind it, the wind shift line and the Arctic air. And it's going to really settle in. In fact, temperatures overnight into Saturday early morning will really start to drop. We'll have gusty north winds out there, and it's going to make it feel much colder because it's going to get much colder. We're sitting at 19 in Joplin right now. The breeze is easing up a bit. It's east northeast at about 3. We still have that very cold air across the northern parts of Missouri filtering into parts of our area, so it's 12 in Fort Scott. Unfortunately, these are not feels-like temperatures, but the winds aren't that bad this morning. But we've got teens and 20s, upper 20s out there as we get our day started. Eventually, we're looking at the low to mid 20s to start. Few clouds like we're seeing right now. Mid 30s by 11 a.m. Highs today. Some of us, again, especially our northern counties, upper 30s is where you're going to top out. But the rest of us, a good number of us, should at least make the low to mid 40s. West breeze around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Clear skies through the evening. Temperatures slowly falling. Eventually, a few clouds there, here and there overnight, back into the upper 20s and low 30s. Southwest winds, though, occasionally gusting upwards of 20. Again, we're going mid-upper 40s Thursday, mid-50s, maybe some upper 50s on Friday, couple of showers. Arctic air settles back down into the 20s Friday night. We've got teens and for our overnight lows, going to be very cold, maybe a stray snow shower or two on Monday, and very cold temperatures well below normal hanging on from the weekend into next week. Let's check your forecast. We're back with more right after this. Well, if you've ever been robbed, you know what a violating feeling it is. And that's what happened to a St. Paul man last month when his e-bike was stolen.
But a heart-sinking feeling was quickly replaced by an uplifting one. Barrett Leone explains.
I ride all year long, 100 degrees or 25 below.
Weather may not stop Joe from taking a spin on his e-bike, but thieves did.
I had gone to the grocery store and locked it up, and I came out and the bike was gone. You know, your heart sinks. It's like not being able to find your car at the airport. You think, did somebody steal it or did they park it somewhere else? So it's gone. When e-bikes are stolen, they recover about less than 1.7%, so they're gone.
Gone and out about $2,000.
It's transportation for me year-round, so it's a big blow to have it stolen.
But as quickly as he was down, Joe's spirits were lifted. Just 24 hours after filing a police report and sharing a warning to neighbors online, something special happened.
So, Joe, I'm David with Face to Face. We'd like to donate a new bike to you. And I thought it was a joke or a scam.
But it wasn't.
I had to pinch myself and say, this can't be true. This is my transportation and vitality. So he understood it right away. Without question, said, come on and we'll get you a new one.
Face to Face is a nonprofit that often works with marginalized kids, providing support, opportunities, and research.
We're just showing up and doing what we do.
But it also helps victims of crime.
We're all about caring for our community.
Like Joe.
What we wanted to do is also be available for those who age out as we serve, young people.
Within a week, Joe had a new bike.
This is one of the nicest ones I've ever had.
And a new outlook.
I got a lot of youth and they need some guidance and direction and mentors, and I'd love to do that. I love working with young kids.
Yeah. While bad things happen.
Just forever gracious for their work and their generosity.
There's still a lot of good.
There are still caring people in this world, caring organizations who do amazing work.
Very impressive, the community rally behind him to replace that bike, because it's like you said, it'd be like going out and your car's gone. It's his main form of transportation.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to see him get that back. Well, coming up, we'll have the latest from California as wildfires continue to wreak havoc in Los Angeles.
And we've got cold temperatures this morning. We're going to gradually warm up across the area. We'll have another look at your forecast right after this.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:29. I'm Elise Snowy. Breaking news out of Galena, Kansas this morning. A call for fire at 4 a.m. in Galena in the 1000 block of Bellevue Street. Single-story residence was fully involved with fire as Galena Fire Department arrived. Flames were so large they threatened nearby homes. The residence was vacant and it is located 2 blocks east of the football stadium. Galena Fire was assisted by Baxter Springs, Kansas Fire and Carl Junction, Missouri Fire. KOAM's Shannon Becker was there live, and he has the latest on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, the latest wave of norovirus infections have more than doubled last season's peak, according to the CDC. Almost 30% of norovirus tests taken the week of New Year's were positive for the virus. Norovirus is the leading cause of foodborne illness in the U.S., and rates have reached or surpassed last season's peak in all regions across the country. The Midwest appeared to have particularly high positivity rates, and the majority of cases go unreported because most people get better without needing a doctor's visit. Health experts say this year's wave of infections is driven by a new strain of the virus. More than 7 in 10 cases have been linked to the new strain. Miami Public Schools select Assistant Superintendent Jill Douthit as the director's new leader. The Miami Board of Education made the announcement Monday night, praising Douthit for her 6 years of dedication to the district. Douthit, who will step into the role this July, expressed excitement about serving the community and focusing on excellence in academics, facilities, and extracurriculars. Well, in Oklahoma, Fire Department puts a new twist on tradition by trading in its fire poles for a slide. The Bridlesville Fire Chief says the slide helps crew members get downstairs faster than the poles or the stairs. Firefighters say the slide saves about 10 seconds, which, when dealing with fires, can be a significant amount of time. And not to mention, the slide is pretty popular with students who come for school field trips. And this winter, there have been several coyote sightings, one spot in particular at Frontenac's Wilderness Park, a popular place to take dogs for a walk. Coyote mating season is underway, and also during the winter months, coyotes are on the move in search of food. If you see a coyote while walking your dog, the SEK Humane Society has a few tips. Maintain eye contact and slowly back away. If the coyote starts to follow you, yell or clap your hands or even blow a whistle to scare it away. If your dog seems eager to meet the coyote, try distracting your dog with treats or changing direction. Now let's head over to Chris with a quick look at the forecast.
I might be a coyote because I think some of the folks here at the station, those are things they do to maybe scare me away. I've had people blow whistles, clap their hands at me, things like that. I'm telling you, I'm the only one in this building 90% of the time. I'm the only one that's here. I don't even know that I'm here. Oh boy. Well, anyway, let's look outside, which is what we're doing. I'm sorry. It's been a long week and it's only Wednesday. Got a few clouds out there. Skies will continue to clear. It'll begin to warm up around the region. MoDOT camera, 20th and range line looking pretty good as well. Again, some of us got a little bit of a dusting of snow, but it will not last. And you can see that snow band yesterday was fairly narrow. There is no new snow in the fields around 69 just south of Pittsburgh. On the KDOT camera there, into the afternoon we go. Upper 20s, low 30s, mid 30s, low 40s, so colder up north, warmer down south. Most of us, or at least more of us, will make the 40s today for our highs, but some of us will still be into the upper 30s out there, but we're all looking at sunny skies across the region, which will be nice. Still a little colder up north, especially around KC, but filtering into our area, so it's 12 in Fort Scott. We've got low, mid, and upper teens, and of course, you get a little further south, we start going into the mid and upper 20s. Again, highs today, upper 30s. More of us should make the low 40s, clear skies, and a west wind around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Temperatures continue to climb over the next couple of days, and then another Arctic blast arrives. Details on all of that in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Lisa?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, strong winds return to the Los Angeles area, creating dangerous conditions as multiple wildfires continue to burn. Fox News correspondent Matt Finn has more from Altadena.
Multiple wildfires across the greater Los Angeles area continue to burn for a second week. So far, at least 25 people have been killed and more than 12,000 structures destroyed.
The heart of the nation are with the victims and families left behind and all the people who've lost their homes, livelihoods, and so much to these fires.
Forecasters predicting the next 24 hours will be particularly dangerous due to increased wind speeds. Los Angeles and Ventura counties are expected to have gusts between 50 to 70 miles per hour in the mountains and 30 to 50 miles per hour along the coast and in the valley.
Critical fire weather conditions across the area, and therefore that's why we have a red flag warning still in effect for this area until 6 p.m. Wednesday evening.
Despite weather setbacks, officials say crews are working day and night on containment efforts.
We have over 5,000 firefighters on this fire alone, 540 rigs, 115 camp crews, tons of dozers, aircraft, water tenders. We are fully ready to go. Everybody's in position.
88,000 LA County residents are under mandatory evacuation orders, causing housing concerns. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass says she's trying to remedy that.
Hopefully, we should have 1,200 units of housing available in the next week or so.
And inside the fire zones, like here in Altadena and also in the Palisades, it is eerily quiet. National Guard and police are not allowing civilians back in, and there is no word when people will be able to return home. In Altadena, California, Matt Finn, Fox News.
And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. We'll look into the mystery of why our eyes water in the colder weather. In Consumer Watch this morning, a lawsuit being leveled at Capital One Bank yesterday. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau going after the bank for allegedly misleading customers about interest rates. The Bureau claims customers were cheated out of more than $2 billion in interest because of Capital One conflating its 360 savings account with a new and higher yield account option called 360 Performance Savings Account. Capital One released a statement denying the accusations. One airline is cutting costs by cutting back on full-time hires and internships. Southwest Airlines says it is attempting to limit costs by halting most summer internships and non-contract internal and external hiring. This comes after the carrier said last fall that it would begin to pull back on hiring. Well, new research is showing there really may be no place like home as the pandemic era trend of staying in and doing fewer out-of-home activities continues. Fox News' Sean Langell takes a closer look at how COVID-19 turned many people into homebodies.
The lockdown days of the COVID-19 pandemic have locked in new habits among many Americans, with new research showing more folks are embracing the homebody lifestyle. Previous data highlights a steady decline in the amount of time people engaged in tasks outside their homes.
Since 2003, which is the first year that we have our data. About 2.4 minutes per day of out-of-home activities less per year. Between 2003 and 2019, with that happening year after year, that's about 38 fewer minutes of out-of-home activities.
But since 2019, people have decreased their time doing out-of-home activities by nearly an hour. That's according to new research from Professor Eric Morris of Clemson University.
About an additional 52 minutes of out-of-home time less in 2003 than 2019. And that is a considerable amount of time, and add that to the 38 minutes we had already dropped since 2003.
Besides some employees continuing to work from home, the study found people are also going outside less to socialize.
Eating, drinking at bars and restaurants has also gone down.
With this behavior causing concerns for foot traffic levels at retail locations nationwide, researchers are proposing possible changes to future infrastructure projects in impacted areas.
Maybe we need less shopping, which people are doing less of. Maybe we need fewer restaurants. It's a real challenge for commercial real estate. Some municipal areas are getting hit really bad with office vacancy and their downtowns having a lot of trouble recovering.
Sean Langell, Fox News.
And those are our top consumer stories. Let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:43 on this Wednesday morning. On to the future track we go. We're looking at some upper 20s, low 30s, mid 30s, and low 40s. So, of course, a little warmer the further south you go, a little cooler further north. All of us looking at plentiful sunshine, and that will continue through today. Winds won't be too bad out of the west, about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Well, we still will have some locations only reaching the upper 30s for highs. I do believe we'll see a few more of those low 40s reach for highs, maybe even some upper 40s in some cases out there. Of course, as we're a little warmer today, that'll lead to it being a little warmer tomorrow morning. So right now, a lot of us are in the teens and low 20s. By this time tomorrow morning, we're talking upper 20s, low 30s out there with just a few clouds. And we'll have just a few clouds throughout the day on our Thursday. Temperatures will be a little warmer as well. As we head to noon, we're talking low, mid 40s. And take a look in our southern counties, upper 40s, maybe even some low 50s out there as this warming trend does continue. Which means it'll be a little nicer Thursday evening and be a little warmer come Friday morning. Now, overnight from Thursday into Friday, winds will shift out of the south and they'll begin to increase across the area. And we're looking at temperatures to start the day Friday into the 30s, so low, mid, and upper 30s across the area. So a little warmer, a little breezier. As we go through the morning, clouds will begin to increase out there, as do the southerly winds and our temperatures. By noon on Friday, Yates Center is at 46, is one of the cooler spots. The rest of us hanging on to the 50s out there. As we go into the afternoon, mainly in the southeastern half of our area, could see a couple of stray showers out there. Really not much else, but by Friday evening, you can see the break in the clouds even where this cold front's coming in. Here comes that wind shift line. And watch, temperatures are going to drop very quickly back behind that. We're falling back through the 30s by Saturday around midnight 30 out there. So it is going to get very cold. So enjoy the next few days, because it's not going to last, unfortunately. Got a nice looking sunrise, though, from our camera at 7th and Rangeline in Joplin. It is 19, east-northeast breeze at 3, so it feels like it is 19. And again, skies are continuing to clear. A little colder up north, still it is 12. These aren't feels like temperatures. It is 12 in Fort Scott. So we've got low, mid, upper teens in our northern counties. You go a little further south, we're going into the low, mid, and upper 20s as we get our day started. We're going to be, again, on average. You have to keep in mind how big our viewing area here is. So these are averages. We're looking low to mid 20s to start. A few clouds out there. Around the mid 30s by 11 a.m. Sunny skies. Sunny skies continue into the afternoon. Again, some of us highs upper 30s, but I do think we're going to see a lot more of us reaching the low 40s with that west wind at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. As we head into this evening, again, clear skies in the evening, temperatures dropping slowly. A few clouds overnight, back into the upper 20s, low 30s. Southwest winds pick up a bit, start gusting upwards of 20 miles an hour. Upper 40s tomorrow, mid 50s Friday. Again, a couple of showers. Colder air settles in back into the 20s Friday night. And then we're into the 30s, 20s. We're below freezing Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Maybe a couple of snow showers on Monday. And temperatures staying below normal through next week. That's a check of your forecast. We'll be back right after this.
Well, some of the cold weather we've been experiencing is certainly enough to make you cry. All it takes is a few seconds outside before the tears start flowing.
So why does cold weather make our eyes water? Well, that's a good question. Jeff Wagner looked into why you're tearing up and how to stop it.
Fresh flakes falling.
Nice to have some natural snow on top.
Keeps the ski trails busy at Theo Worth Park in Minneapolis. The January sun wasn't to be found, but eye protection was still a popular choice.
Just to kind of keep things warm, keep the wind down.
Otherwise it can really hurt and kind of make you tear up after you're done with your workout.
An accessory Nick Partington regretfully skipped.
I should wear glasses with the snowflakes because when they get in my eyes it kind of stings.
Why does cold weather make our eyes water?
Our eyes are really smart and they're trying to keep your eyes as moist as possible, so they'll keep on tearing as long as they sense that dryness.
Dr. Sasha Struhl is a pediatric ophthalmologist.
Is there a certain temperature threshold for when this occurs?
Not so much a temperature threshold, it's more about when the dryness comes in.
Minnesota's cold winter air tends to be dry, which is why our eyes water more now than during the humid summer months. Conversely, your eyes might water on a breezy July day in Arizona, since the climate is dry year-round.
So our eyes really have two forms of tearing, one that's reflexive to when we feel our eyes are dry, and one that's just our baseline tearing.
Basal tears constantly keep your eyes lubricated and protected and have oil and mucus in them. Reflex tears, the ones that flow to combat dry air, are mainly water.
And so even though it's trying to moisturize our eyes, you can imagine if you put your hand into water, it's not going to moisturize your hand as much from the dry weather than if you put it in oil or lotion.
One might think skiers, ice anglers, and others who spend lots of time outside in the winter might build up a tolerance to dry air, but Dr. Struhl says it doesn't work that way.
The best thing you can do is actually improve your tear health so it's less of an impact on you. The oil part of our tears comes from our eyelid glands. And so doing warm compresses for your eyelids, kind of giving yourself that spa treatment at night can actually improve how we produce our oil, and our tears can actually be healthier.
Using eye drops, specifically artificial tears, will replicate healthy tears and better add moisture. There's also ointments you can apply to your eyes before going to bed. Lastly, eye protection.
I like to use these type of lenses for days where it's more overcast to help you see the snow better.
Glasses and goggles keep snow and wind at bay, giving you a tear-free day on your next winter adventure.
These are prescription, so I always have glasses on.
Very interesting.
It really is. And, I know that was up in Minnesota, and believe me, the winters there will make you actually cry. But I even feel it sometimes down here in the Midwest. Just when you get hit with something, it's like, whoo.
It gets pretty muggy here in the summertime, but in the winter, the air can really dry out for sure. And it's going to be dry for the next at least a couple of days as temperatures continue to warm. Future track into the afternoon, again, showing us where we're going to be a little chilly today, especially in our northern counties. Upper 20s, low 30s by noon, but we've got mid and upper 30s and low 40s in our southern counties. Sunny skies will prevail through today, and while some of us will only make the upper 30s, I think we'll see a lot more of our communities reaching the low 40s for highs today. We head into our Wednesday night and into Thursday. We'll have a few clouds overnight, few clouds tomorrow. Warmer to start the day, upper 20s and low 30s for Thursday morning. By the afternoon, our temperatures already into the low, mid, and upper 40s, maybe even some low 50s out there, and it'll still be fairly decent by Thursday evening. Winds shift out of the south Thursday night into Friday. They start gusting on us, bringing in warmer air. So now we're starting our Friday morning into the 30s across the area. Clouds increasing on Friday, and by the afternoon, southeastern portion of our area, maybe a stray shower or two. And then by the evening, here comes that cold front, the north winds, and that Arctic air that's going to bring our temperatures down as we head into the weekend. We'll have another look at your forecast. News you need to know right after this.
And here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Pittsburgh City Commissioners last night gave the okay on a controversial daycare proposal. Some neighbors created a petition citing multiple concerns, and in the end, every commissioner voted in favor of granting the license. The owner says they've been working to set up the daycare for more than a year and never thought the process would see so many delays. Freeman Health System announces its new leader. The Freeman Board of Directors has chosen Matthew Fry as their new president and CEO. Fry takes the position vacated by the impending retirement of CEO Paula Baker. Fry's first day on the job is slated for April 1st. And the Miami Public Schools selects Assistant Superintendent Jill Douthit as the district's new leader in an announcement made Monday night. Douthit, who will step into the role this July, expressed excitement about serving the community and focusing on excellence in academics, facilities, and extracurriculars.
We're looking at sunny skies today, highs upper 30s, low 40s, west winds around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Clear skies through the evening, temperatures gradually falling back to the 30s and eventually upper 20s and low 30s. Southwest winds tonight, occasionally gusting upwards of 20, just a few clouds out there. A few clouds for our Thursday, a little warmer, upper 40s, mid 50s Friday. Could see a couple of stray showers in the afternoon. Cold front comes through Friday evening, dropping our temperatures, bringing in Arctic air through the weekend and next week with a slight chance of some snow showers on Monday.
Alrighty. Well, people in New Hampshire are flocking to see the return of the Ice Castles attraction. Now, the attraction is both art and tourism and can be seen in multiple states and not just New Hampshire.
Ice Castles features towers, tunnels, archways, and caves made of ice. This year, the attraction was able to open earlier this season thanks to some of the chilly temperatures. Certainly an interesting sight.
Very cool. Very cool. Look at them go.
That's looks like a lot of fun. Some neat lighting up there as well. Well, thank you so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We're back with more news and weather today at noon.
Have a great rest of your morning.